Hey dear all, let's talk about the US elections that are just around the corner. In the two party system, the Republican Party's candidate is Mr. Donald Trump and the Democratic Party's candidate is Mr. Joe Biden. The choice of candidates itself showcases the dismal state of US democracy. President Trump is a reality TV show host, and Mr. Joe Biden is the very worst, perhaps, of the politicians. Each past US president is responsible for the current dismal state of affairs. George Bush, Bill Clinton, and Obama have all wreaked havoc on US democracy that today seems just a farce. Both parties are working only for top 1%. A case in point is the most massive upward transfer of wealth in modern times when the taxpayers' money was transferred to billionaire businesses at the crucial time of COVID pandemic under the CARES Act, while common Americans got pittance. As per New York Times, 8 million people have slipped into poverty since May 2020. A $1.8 trillion worth of a new stimulus bill is in the House now that the Democrats are opposing because, it's close to election time and the voters may get swayed. People are losing their homes. They are surviving on food stamps. They are hungry and queuing up at community kitchens. The situation is desperate. Nobody is fighting for the common man of America. Bernie Sanders, AOC, Jayapal, Freaky Ilhan Omar, and angry Rashida Tlaib, who we all thought were with the working class, are all missing in action as American people struggle. They created more ruckus on India's Kashmir issue that they had not 1% understanding of, but are completely mum for this lifeline that can be thrown for the hurting people of the US. A big and perhaps the only success of President Trump has been that, in spite of extraordinary pressure, he has not initiated a full blown war anywhere, including with Iran and Russia. But other than that, there's nothing he can boast of. In all probability, corrupt, lying, cheating, plagiarizing, nepotistic, Joe Biden will win these elections in spite of fact that he behaves like a demented person. He is strangely the only candidate that the Democratic Party could zero in on. Imagine that. The US political parties and big businesses like pharma, defense, banks, insurance have a tight clique. They make each other wealthy with taxpayers' money, leaving the voters out in the cold. Both parties do not care for the middle and the lower middle class or the environment or peace in the world, etc. Whichever party wins, the rich will get richer. Arctic drilling and fracking and such stuff will be open for business again. Media would continue to be compromised. Case in point, please notice how New York Post article on the insane corruption of Hunter Biden, who is Joe Biden's son, was completely buried by TV and by Facebook and Twitter. Please notice how informative and impartial they are. Facebook and Twitter censored the story totally at election time when this information is critical for voters. So we can see with whom Facebook and Twitter stand, not with its users, that's for sure. The US voters have no choice. I would suggest that they vote for the Green Party to get a third party a seat at the political table. The US people need an authentic representation. We in India have a huge lesson to learn here. With the sun setting on the mother of all corruption, anti India, creepy Congress or INC, we need a strong opposition party. Please remember that at the end of the day, BJP too is a political party that needs funds to contest elections. With no reforms happening on the rules of political parties' funding, all parties are beholden to big donors. think of it this way. Would Reliance's business get affected by whichever party is in power? No. We need to get and stay engaged with politics in whichever way we can. We need to know our local representatives and keep a close eye on what's going on in the parliament, however dry or dull it may be. With zero authentic information from the media, it is incumbent upon us to stay informed. India is a dynamic and thriving democracy, but how effective it is for us, the Indian people, depends entirely on us. Each government we choose with care will raise the performance bar for the next. By decisively choosing PM Modi, we have broken the vicious circle of the rule of the Congress. But we cannot rest here. Politics has to be a part of our daily lives. Period. Good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.